What's up, guys? In today's video we are getting the garden on its last legs ready to go. So we're almost done here, and Ben is starting the hole for my mulberry tree. It says we're gonna dig about, I don't know, 2 to 3 feet in diameter. And then how far down are we going, Ben?
Looks like probably about like this. I'll just clean this out, maybe 1.5 feet.
Okay.
2 feet.
1.5 to 2 feet down. We've got the vacant lot being turned into the garden of my dreams. It's working out very well. And Ben bought a mulberry tree right here, and a willow tree. And the willow tree is not going to go in the garden, but it is going to be a part of the farm. So I'm really stoked about it. I don't know if you remember the vacant lot, but it is not very vacant anymore. We're still working on it. What you see behind me is a lot of dead grass from the mower. Anytime Ben mows, I like to spread the grass all over the growing grass and then eventually just kill it all. And that way it's kind of like a natural mulch I don't till. So we use the Ruth Stout Method to create the natural environment for the garden. So I'll show you around really quickly and talk about some of the companion plants that I plant to make sure the mosquitoes and mayflies and all these harmful critters. I know the aphids like to get carried up by the ants, and I deter them in a number of ways. So I'll just quickly walk around and do that, and we'll then go help Ben get the tree in there as he's digging away for me. We're slowly getting the lot cleared out, so he's built some trellises for me. We've got 3 trellises up there, arch trellises. Thank you, Ben. They're going to be full of beans and cucumbers, maybe some squash and zucchini. Haven't decided quite yet. We've got some other dirt going in, other dirt right here that is going to eventually fill in the rest of the containers that we bought. And then he made me these huge raised beds. I have 4 of them. They're ginormous and awesome. I've got rocks, or let's see, little pieces thrown in the middle to make sure that I can actually get up there and do some weeding when it happens, or insert some weeds when that happens. So these 2 beds aren't planted with anything yet. I know I'm a little late this year. Don't judge me. And this one, as you can tell, the dirt's a little bit of different color there. That's my good old cow manure. It's been sitting in the compost pile for a while, but it is full of corn right now. I just planted the corn, me and the kiddos and Ben, about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago, so they should be popping up soon. And then this one is full of corn as well. So 2 of these huge, ginormous beds that are full of corn. We're definitely going to need it this year. And we're going to be adding, we're going to be doing some companion planting in here as well. So we're going to be doing corn. Once they get a little bit bigger, we're going to add some pole beans so they can use the corn as trellises, and the pole beans put in nitrogen. The corn pulls it out. And then we're going to add some squash. It's a 3 sisters method if you're not familiar with it, and it works fantastically. The squash is going to cover the ground and kind of give a shade layer to everything. So that's going to be super helpful. So that's what we'll have going on in here. And then we're also going to be adding some marigolds inside. I may even do some potatoes. I haven't decided for sure yet, depending on how much room I have for potatoes later on. And then I have a lot of random containers. If you saw the junk video that I did, you'll recognize some of these gems from that video. But in here I've got parsley, and what else do I have? Beefsteak tomatoes. So beefsteak tomatoes and parsley. Parsley works really well to deter unwanted pests in the garden, and nothing's coming up over there on that one yet. Then I've got sweet basil. Look at this trough feeder. Makes for a beautiful bed. Just make sure you're putting holes in the bottom of them so the water can drain right out. If you use the rusted kind, it's even better because sometimes there's already holes in there for you. But I've got basil in here. If you look close, you can see where Dallin's labeled it for me. Sweet basil. So I've got basil in here, and it's actually already starting to come up. So I'll show you some of that. Maybe kind of difficult to see the sweet basil, but it's in there. So sweet basil's in there. And then I've also got some San Marzano tomatoes. They haven't popped up yet. Actually, I think I just saw one. That's either a tomato or dill. We'll find out. I've also got some dill in here. Dill is great for deterring pests. The smell of it is fantastic. You can use it with cucumbers and any kind of gourd. They're really great with, and also tomatoes. Then I have some black Krim tomatoes, and they're actually coming up, so I'm stoked about it. Thank you, black Krim. Man, my camera work is glorious. I know, there they are. Black creme tomatoes coming up. And then I also have some parsley in there. And I haven't seen any of the parsley pop up yet, but it is coming. So I'm really excited to see the corn come up. I planted a few different kinds. I've got the blue Hopi corn in here, and then I have a bicolor sweet corn in here as well. So that'll be some good stuff. And then I just have some regular yellow corn in this one, and actually maybe a few blue Hopi in there as well. I think I skipped over somebody. Nope, I already told you about them. Now in this container, I've got some basil already popping up in there. I like to cook with basil. Again, it's a great pest deterrent. And then I also have ox heart tomatoes, and I don't see them coming up yet, so they haven't sprouted yet, but they will. In this lovely bed here, I'm gonna do lots of brassicas. Today we're gonna get our lettuce in there. I'm gonna get broccoli, I'm gonna get cauliflower, radish. What else do I have going on in there? I think I'm gonna put some thyme in there and some carrots. And we'll seed some carrots in there. And then in this other bed over here, we're gonna add basically the same thing, some brassicas. I'm gonna add some parsnips in here as well instead of the carrots. And then we're gonna do some strawberries in this one too. So it's gonna be a nice big bed. You can walk across it to make sure that you can get to the areas that are kind of intricate. It looks like Ben's got my tree in there already. That was fast. So we'll walk over here to him. I put little, oh, nice step up. I put little cinder blocks for the kiddos to get up. So I'll show you that little maneuver in a second. Come on over.
Too deep. I read the instructions. We went too deep.
We went too deep?
Some more dirt in there.
Okay. How deep were we supposed to go?
Just as, not as deep as the container.
Okay.
So the top of the dirt inside the container is supposed to stick out the top.
Okay, so the container dirt's supposed to stick out the top. So Ben fixed us up, so maybe we went down 8 to 12 inches?
Yeah.
8 to 12 inches about. We've never planted a tree before. It's my first time doing trees. I'm excited to get them into the garden, or my food forest, as I'm trying to call it. Food forest here. Okay, so 8 to 12 inches. So what do? You take it out of there?
Yep.
Do we squeeze the black container to get it out?
I guess.
I'll help him squeeze the container. I'm really, like I said, I'm into the food forest method, no-till, lots of different species in with one another, lots of different plants, everything working together to form a nice little ecosystem. And trees are a big part of it, along with bushes. We're going to have, mulberries are great because the kids will eat them. It's already got some little mulberries on it. Little tiny guys. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some mulberries in there. Ben's gonna get it all unwrapped, then we'll squeeze this container. We've got some nice bathtub beds here. I can't wait to actually fill those with dirt. Those are gonna be for potatoes. I've got 1, 2, 3 bathtubs of potatoes, and then some other 5-gallon buckets of potatoes as well. So you got the tree. I heard you're supposed to kind of loosen the roots. Oh look, we already got a worm friend in there. So you're just kind of loosening them up to make sure it's not root bound. Looks pretty good. I'm excited for the first tree. Want me to hold it?
I think it kind of sits in there.
Sits in by itself. Awesome. Glad to already see a worm in there. Then he's just going to fill it all back in. Ben, I also want you to throw one of these humus and manure things right in there. So I like to add manure. If we have it laying around, we use that. Ben already filled me up, I don't know how many tractor loads of it to fill my beds, but it was a ton. So we've used most of it. So we had to go buy humus and manure blend. And the reason I like to put it in is to just give it a nice little kick right from the start. I also add bone meal and blood meal to most things. And what else do I put in there? I put in neem pellets or neem powder, one of the two, just to get it started off right, and usually some kelp powder. Get all those nice and formulated fancy like in there. Alright, he's pouring in the bag. Just to get a good layer for the roots to get started on. Then we're going to water it down pretty heavily. Unfortunately for me, and I guess fortunate for my body, I've been lugging water, and I think that's going to be the norm for a little bit until we get this hose hooked up. But our water is a little far away. We got a hose, so hopefully we can get it a little closer to the source here. Looking good. It's so beautiful. And around this tree, we're going to plant some lavender. What else do I have that I'm going to plant? We've got bee balm that I'm going to plant nearby. We'll do some marigolds, of course. Got some borage. Just some good tree herbs and plants that'll really help it maintain the ecosystem it's used to seeing. Hopefully let some of these good grasses grow up all around it and give it some nice natural fertilizer. It's my first time for the tree. I'm so excited. Coon Cat's just loving life out here. Aren't you, Coon Cat? We can't even see you. You're so hidden. I know. We can't even see you. You're so hidden. Had some bad news. We found Big Boy. Passed away the other day. Not quite sure what happened there. Yeah, not quite sure. So he was mating a lot with coon cats. Maybe he just had a heart attack, right? No, we don't know what happened, but it was sad. We found him the other day, so we no longer have Big Boy. This has been what I've been using to water. Fill this sucker up, and then fill up a 5-gallon bucket. And I was filling them all up over here by where Bear hangs out. This whole way. Here's my nice little black hose I have. I would start it here, and I'd turn on. We live on well water, so I have to say it's the cheapest way to go. No cost to you at all. You can use as much as you want, but the well spout is over here. So I was starting up my well spout, walking over here, filling up my 5-gallon bucket, filling up my water, and then pulling it all over with me to the garden. And so I'm glad we're not going to have to do that much longer. But back to some of the plants we have going on. It's going to be a quick video today because we need to get to planting. So I've talked about what we're going to put brassicas and a lot of good stuff over there in those beds, including carrots and parsnips, and we're going to also include strawberries in there. And then in here, oh, and some chives in one of the beds too. There's a lot. I just probably should have gotten my list out to tell you more about it, but companion planting is a great way to just keep out pests naturally. And then throughout the year, I think I've mentioned this before, we use neem oil and soap, like dish soap and water mixture, and I'll spray it on the leaves every now and again just to keep everything away. But the dill is really fantastic if you're going to be planting things like cucumbers, squash, zucchini, all of that. So I've got dill in here, and then I have tiny Tim tomatoes, and my tiny Tim's barely poking up there. And then I've got another one. Let's see, I've got lavender in here and purple bush beans. So you can see them up underneath there, purple bush beans coming out of there. Like I said, I think I planted these, I don't know, 5-6 days ago. And then I've got some bush lake beans coming out. Looking really good. Really, really good. And in here I also have some thyme. So bush beans and thyme. And then this is where I have my borage and my golden wax beans. So these ones get really beautiful. You can see these ones really well. They're coming out and doing fantastic. And then over here in this one, I've got some more chives and some bell peppers that are going to be coming up. So it is just the beginning of the planting season here on the farm, and we got started late. So we are going to make up for it by planting well into the fall. I'm really happy Ben bought me this tree, and it looks like he's pretty much all done. Thank you, Ben. It's looking good. Never had a fruit tree. Always wanted some. I'm going to try to keep it under control so it doesn't grow very large, and hopefully I can prune it in a way that will allow it to only grow, I don't know, 6 or 7 feet tall, maybe 8 at the most, and then just hopefully go out so the kids can enjoy mulberries all year round. So I'll be working on doing all of that, but we are getting there, and at least it's getting started. It's not a vacant lot anymore, right? So I've at least completed my first goal, no vacant lot anymore. And now as Ben mows the yard, he'll bring me more grass, and then we'll just lay it over everything like this, keep that good natural stuff on the ground and not have a bare ground. So soon, I bet a lot of you are wondering, why the heck is all of your soil bare? Eventually I'm going to be putting some grass over it to keep it all moist and work on that soil health. So that is it for now. Good luck and good planting. Can't wait to see how tall this tree will be. Ben, I bet it's taller than you soon.
Yeah.
Not hard, right?
Probably a year.
I'm excited for it. All right, good planting.